friends! Today we are going to be showing you how to cut two of the exact same wig into two different characters. These two bought their same wig from the same place, and one of them needs to be Kaneki Ken from Tokyo Ghoul, and the other one needs to be Juuzou Suzuya from Tokyo Ghoul. So Kaneki's hairstyle is a lot shorter. It's straight, has kind of spikes, a little bit just kind of a porcupine fluffy little head. And then Juuzou's is a little bit more crazy and curly. So this wig is naturally a lot more Juuzou than it is Ken. So we're gonna cut Juuzou first, and then we're gonna take the exact same wig and style and cut it into Ken. And you guys are gonna get to see how they come out surprisingly different with just cutting and styling. So let's get started. Here we're going to be cutting the Juuzou wig first. And this wig basically has the shape I already want. It's just going to need a little bit of product up here. And then this gone. A lot of wigs from the shop I usually go to, which is Wigs Fashion. The link will be in the description below to where we purchased these. They have a lot of back length. They do that so that it'll cover the back of your neck. But these are kind of meant to be trimmed. So first thing we're going to do is trim all of that out of him. And he's got some crazy bangs going on in this too, but Juuzou has his little hair clips that keep his bangs out of his face. So just for Juuzou, we're going to leave those bangs long. And again, like all of my other wig cuttings, I generally go along the angle of the hairs with the scissors. That does kind of help cut down on the choppiness, so it doesn't look like I'm cutting in a straight line. Another thing I do is come at it from the bottom if I want to give it not a very straight across look, give it some jaggediness. I sometimes trim from the bottom. For him, I'm just cutting out length to begin with, so I'm just going to come in here and kind of snip away this extra stuff. As I'm going along, I'm trying to layer my cuts a bit, so that means cutting more from the portion to the outside of the wig than I do the portion that's right here by the neck. And that keeps it also from looking like fresh cut hair, too choppy. Keeps him looking a little more normal. When you're cutting the back length of a wig, be mindful of where your model or your person's hairline is at. Don't cut above the hairline, don't cut above the weft, because that way when the wig lays down on the back of their neck, it covers up any baby hairs they might have, anything that might have poked out of the wig cap. So always be mindful of where their actual hairline is at. Another good thing to remember is to occasionally get your wig brush out, run it through the areas that you've already cut, in case you get weird stragglers like this that kind of got tucked up under there as you were cutting, so they stayed really long. When you're cutting the length out of a wig, try to make sure you cut just a little bit longer than what you think you need, because it's a lot easier to do some additional trimming than it is to put back hair that you've cut off. So I always try to make sure I kind of leave a little bit longer than I need to, and that way I can come back, and if it is too long I can take it off, but it gives me that opportunity to make sure I didn't screw up. You can kind of come back and check and make sure it's still going to the length you want it to. As you can see here, I've kind of still got it a touch too long for Juuzou. It's shorter, but it's not quite short enough, because where his hair should fall is at the ends of these. So now we're just going to take a little additional length off of it. I do sometimes, if I'm trying to get just the bottom layer of the wig, I will use my fingers to kind of separate up. Sometimes you have to use clips. The upper layers that I don't want to cut, this extra fluffy stuff, and get down to just those back of the neck hairs of the wig. And that way I can aim exactly what aim exactly for what I want to aim for. Okay, I think we are cut for Juuzou. We're going to take the towel off and make sure I didn't miss any bits. Let's see. This bit here is looking a little odd. Looks like I just need to... Alright. I think you are prepared to be Juuzou.
Yee! Thank you.
You're welcome. Now let's see if we can make the same wig into Kaneki. Okay, well, Juuzou, calm down. Calm down, sweet child. We're going to take the same wig and try and make it into Kaneki. So for Kaneki, he has very, very straight hair. I'm honestly going to probably trim a lot of the extra length off of him. He's a bit shorter than Juuzou. So we're going to take a lot of the extra length off of him, and then we're going to flat iron him. Now this is a heat resistant wig. And this wig is designed to be able to take a bit of flat ironing without much problem. I have protected my flat iron. This is a adjustable flat iron, so I'm going to put it on a low setting. And I have parchment paper wrapped around the ceramic part of it so that it doesn't melt this and stick it to the actual flat iron itself. And that hopefully will straighten this out enough to give Kaneki his nice spikes, because right now it still curls a bit like the Juuzou wig does, which is the opposite of how we want it to look. I'm going to take the length I need out of it first so that I can make sure that the spikes come out looking how I need them to look. For the debulking of this wig and taking out the length, it's going to be about the same technique that I used for Juuzou, except that I'm not going to separate out the top layers because these don't actually need to be extra long. I'm going to be cutting at an angle to make all of the layers lay smooth right up to the neckline and take all of this extra out. And I don't need this stuff up top to be extra long, so I will not be doing kind of the cutting underneath that I did with Juuzou. Kaneki's hair is also a little bit more tidy, so I'm being more mindful to go in straight lines instead of being choppy like I was able to be with Juuzou. And again, with being mindful of the cosplayer that's going to be wearing it, Rabbit actually has a little bit lower of a hairline than KW does. So I'm going to actually cut her wig to taper over her hairline and kind of cover that and make it a little bit easier on her when she's trying to keep that covered at con. Much wig, such cutting away.
Much wig.
I'm running into a few spots where the wig actually wants to curl a little bit because of the natural curl in the wig. What I'm doing, since I know I'm going to flat iron it, is actually trying to leave those spots a little bit too long. Once I've ironed it and made it all flat and those curls are not going to be in it anymore, then I'll know exactly where that piece of hair is going to lie so that it lies in line with the rest of them.
I'm going to punch him in the dick. Right in the dick. Bye-bye.
Looking at the reference picture for Kaneki, his shortest hairs on his head run about here, whereas the shortest hairs on this one are running about here. So straight haired again, so I'm going to keep him super smooth. I'm going to give him just a little bit of a layer to bring his shortest hairs to where they look like they're at in the picture rather than where they show on the wig. So I just take my fingertips, I pull out a little bit at a time of the wig hairs, and I snip them at an angle going along with the wig to make the shortest of his hairs about where they are in the picture. I'm being a little cautious with this because this is a slightly curly wig and I haven't straightened it yet, so a little bit cautious, but I'm giving him the appropriate length of layers. This is the excruciatingly boring part, isn't it? I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Pat little head.
You're a good wig head.
Oh, okay.
It kind of helps that this is basically the same haircut that I've given like your last 3 boy characters. I don't know if I'm just like, maybe KE can only do 1 haircut, so I keep picking these characters so that she'll always cut my hair for me, or if they just happen to be most attracted to boys with this exact haircut.
I don't know what it is. It's a main character thing, I guess.
It is. You do actually have a habit towards the protagonists.
I don't know why.
You didn't even think Kaneki was going to be your protagonist.
No, I thought I would end up liking this group.
Well,
I thought I was going to end up loving V-Day.
I like that fucker.
And I got
like
attached to Kaneki so much more. I was like, whatever. Forget this.
In the next episode of My Strange Addiction, Rabbit talks about her addiction with protagonists with short hair.
Listen. Okay, yeah. Here's a lot of names. Naruto, Kaneki, Kuroko, Hinata. I'm done. I don't like looking at this anymore. That's like 4 out of the 8 I have though.
So we have kind of, I'm going to turn you a bit.
Wow!
We've gotten all of this layered up and sort of tailored into this nice little V shape that is covering her hairline back here. Trim this side up just a little bit more. Because when you really get a good look at the back is when you tell whether you're even on both sides or not. Doop doop. Now, we're going to take a flat iron to the back and get it a little bit straighter because it still, when messed with, wants to do this little bit of a curl thing, and I don't want it to do that. Okay.
Oh, so itchy. Oh. Okay, we're good. Holy crap! Thank you. God bless.
Okay. Ready to flat iron? I have this set on a pretty low setting, only a couple notches up from the lowest possible, and it kind of works like flat ironing hair, except the layers, there's not as much in each layer. You want to be kind of careful. Pull your wig up where you can kind of see the wefting. It helps. You can see where that layer of wig is at. Kind of cup it with the bottom of your flat iron. And be quick with it. Best bet is to test an area of your wig to see how it's going to react. If you have a wig you're not sure of what level its heat resistance is, or if you're not sure how hot your flat iron gets. I usually like to use a comb or a wig brush to just kind of grab the hair and lift it out away from the wig so that I can cut my flat iron underneath it and straighten it. If you've ever straightened your own hair, it's a pretty similar process. And we are going to straighten this whole wig. It is definitely giving me some straighter fibers. They don't do as much Juuzou curling when I pull them away from the head part of the wig. If your wig is especially curly, you can kind of tuck your flat iron underneath it and tilt it down a little bit, and that can make the hairs on it settle. Just be careful not to accidentally curl them the opposite direction when you do that. Was that warm?
Yeah. But it's not like burning, it's just like a hot cup of chocolate touched my ear.
I tested this literally, I touched it briefly with my fingers.
Oh no, I don't think you're gonna burn me. I was just like, oh, there it is. Oh, it feels kind of good. I'm a little cold. It's very cold in the house today. Warm up.
So now the back of this wig is behaving much more like Kaneki and much less like Juuzou. And we all need people to behave a lot less like Juuzou. So, starting to work very well. My awkward maneuver with my cord here. So now we are much straighter, much more spiky. So when we put product in this, it'll be able to spike without curling. And now I can also see a few places where I have a little bit extra from my trimming. They're kind of sticking out at an odd angle. So now I can kind of trim those back. They were probably curling under before I started flat ironing. So now I can just nip those little strays. And that is the back of Kaneki's wig. And Kaneki has very different bangs than Juuzou, so now we are going to do the front. Here, you can scoot around more.
Excellent chair scooting, A+.
And he has very freaking straight bangs like the rest of him, even though he's not very straight.
Whoa. That's some true shit though.
Going to trim his bangs up using a reference photo. Reference photo! So I have everything I need. I was just showing off. He's cute. I have everything I need to continue to trim. I'm going to trim bangs pretty much the same way. This character has all around pretty much the same haircut, and it's just shorter over his eyes. So the front is going to trim almost exactly like the back. He doesn't even have much of a, what you would see as kind of a sideburn. Those fake anime sideburns all the boys seem to have. But I am going to leave a little length by the sideburns because everybody's got hairs that live right here that are really hard to cover up with a wig or wig cap. So I'm going to leave just enough to cover that, and that's going to be kind of my length marker to come up and over the eyes. His exposed little ears. He does have one of those cuts that's trimmed up by the ears. You can see his little ears.
Free me.
Slowly but surely. Free her. No, this isn't free.
Please.
On the bangs especially, I'll take length out going this direction, but then sometimes I will feather the very tips with just the last like ½ centimeter of the scissors right where I have made a cut in order to keep those ends from looking too straight lined. This wig is literally down past your lips. Amazing, we left all of this length, the same length in for Juuzou because he's got those hair clips. These little hair clips. We're just gonna slowly free you. Slowly free you. There's your eyeball. There's your eyeball. A lot of anime haircuts have this kind of way of like coming down to a point at the nose, coming up a little bit over the eyes, and then coming back down again. So locating your person's eye and exposing it can also help you center where you need those different lengths of hair to be. Can help you find your person underneath there. Hi! Hey! Finally starting to see you.
Missed you guys.
You're gone for so long.
I know. It was a good vacation.
Into Wigland?
Yes. Got kind of itchy.
I imagine. Probably is still kind of itchy, huh?
Shit, stabbing me in the eyes.
Trying to get it cleared out of there.
You're good. You got it.
Yay. Slowly clearing you away. Again, I'm doing that thing where I use the tip of the scissors, but since it's close to her eye, I am keeping my finger there between the little stabbies and the eyeball. Because this may be Tokyo Ghoul. But that
listen, we don't need your smart references. Wait, I lost my picture. There we go.
Goodbye.
Bye, Nick.
No more reference photo, no more Neki.
No more Neckies.
Well, I'm sure the realities would love your eyeballs. And
Listen,
quite delicious.
we are not talking about Uta right now.
Would you not trust Uta close to your face with a pair of scissors?
No, I wouldn't.
Here's one of those cases where I talked about needing to like take the wig brush after it, because as you can see, there is actually a lot of hairs that were not caught in that trimming. They're like, hello, we're still here.
Oh my gosh, what is this?
I
felt so funny against my head. That was the weirdest sensation.
Blending, I guess you could call it. Stick my hand there so I can actually pull it away from your eye. Stab you in the eye with my finger.
There in my nose. Close nose. Thank you.
If you love your friends, you'll brush their nose off for them.
Thank you. I'm loved.
Okay, so here's halfway done. Da-da-da-da. Then we're gonna come around to this side. My socks are so hairy right now. I'm going to turn you a little bit toward me. Whee! Lighting. Okay. Trying to take a stick. You'll be the little half ghoul soon. I'm just going to use you as a brush holder.
Oh, not Neki.
Oh no, Kaneki, come back. Also, I promise any faces I make while doing this are absolutely necessary, including closing one eye and sticking my tongue out.
Have you been doing that?
Probably. At the very least, I caught myself sticking my tongue out. I'm like, bleh, Kaneki, bleh.
No,
Go my tongue out at you.
Go back it. Go home.
I'm starting to find Kaneki in there.
Yay!
That was cute. That was too cute. Stop.
Oh, goddamn, I'm a genius.
Alright, so that is about it for Kaneki's wig. I'll just try to turn you out a little bit so you can show that side. Then the same thing around the ear where I've trimmed it up a bit since he actually has exposed ears. Giving him just a little sideburn to help cover the natural human sideburns here. If you have any trouble with this area with your wigs, a single bobby pin that matches your wig color right through the sideburn area of your hair will take care of that. And we are Kaneki. So let's line them up and see how the two compare to each other from the same wig. We see that these two of the exact same wig became two different characters. Kaneki Ken and Juuzou Suzuya. Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you subscribe for more Kaneki fucking his hair up. Kaneki, why?
I like the style the best. I'm finding me. There's
Thank
a lot more styling we have to put into this.
There we go. Yeah, there's a lot of styling. It's going to need some product. You always want to product your wigs to get them to stay where you want them to be. But as far as cut goes, I think this is a pretty good test for these two wigs. Kind of goes to show if you're looking at base wigs, look at what it could be more than what it looks like out of the package. Because obviously there's a whole lot you can do with variety with the same wig. Thank you guys for being patient with me and not jumping all over the place. We're more like medicated Juuzou right now. So calm.
Medication is working.
Look at all the hairs fall.
Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe. Check out the description below for a link to where we purchased these wigs. And we will see you later, artful friends. Got to brush your friends off. Ow. I destroy things. Gotta brush your friends off after you cut their hair. There we go.